Hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing Tutorial Tuesday. Hi, so I'm excited. Today we are doing Tutorial Tuesday and it is with the Midas Cosmetics High Times palette, not the Smoke Sessions palette. Made that mistake last video. It's like I'm almost done with school, so I'm just like losing my mind. I hate when I come on to do this intro because my eyes look so beady and tiny with all of the like eye primer and stuff around it. Like I know they just, I'm like, I swear this is not normal. So if you're new to Tutorial Tuesday, this is basically where I play with a palette that I've been playing with all week. I do a tutorial, show you guys a look that I really like. Sometimes the look turns out great, sometimes it does not. Today's video is gonna be interesting because we're playing with like greens. And greens, you guys probably know, I kind of have a love-hate with greens. I used to really hate them, and now I've slowly kind of gotten more into greens as time has gone on. This particular palette is definitely, I was inspired by the Mary Jane. It has like a lot of weed-themed names and stuff like that. I do appreciate, oh, before we even start talking about this, I totally forgot. I work with Midas. I'm affiliate with Midas, which means I have a discount code with them that does earn me money. It's Smokey Glow in all caps. You do not have to use it. I still give really honest reviews on Midas, but I know that sometimes having a coupon code or having a code like that can sway people's opinions. It's impossible to not have somewhat of a bias when it's a brand that I really like enough to get an affiliate code with. So just so you guys know, starting off, if that's gonna bother you, you don't have to watch. I totally get it. I appreciate the fact that Midas didn't just put out an all green palette, because that's kind of what we were seeing from people like Milk Cosmetics, and I think Milk came out with something. A lot of brands have been doing this more like weed themed stuff, which is kind of interesting, kind of dope, because it's like normalizing marijuana usage, which is awesome because it puts so many people in jail for long amounts of time for no reason. Anyway, but I feel like I like that the owner of Midas. I like that she did a mix of greens with these more orange and brown tones with some like golds and silvers. I think this is really well done. I'm gonna talk a little bit about maybe a couple of things that I personally would have changed about the palette, just because there were a couple of things as I was using it throughout the week. I was like, man, I wish there was like a black. You know what I mean? Like, I wish this deep brown shade that's like a maroony shade was just like a black, so that way you could kind of mix it in with the greens a little bit easier. But we're gonna zoom right in and start playing. I kind of unfortunately have to do a bit of a more, I'm gonna do a pop of green, but I have to do a bit of a more neutral look tonight because I am going to class after this. So with that being said, let's just get started.
Hello, it's me.
Man, I started buying this like mocha cold brew stuff and it has been life-changing. So this palette, the Midas High Times, it actually does not have a sort of like matte cream white color. It's pretty much full of color. So I did set normally I like to set my eyes with that color. So I did just set my eyes with a pressed powder, no biggie. I think I'm gonna start by going in with Tangy right here, this kind of mustardy, sorry, my nails are like bright yellow. I don't know, I was just feeling it. I'm gonna go in with the shade Tangy and put that on my upper crease. Really lightly, and I am holding the brush a little bit farther away than normal. I found that for things like crease colors, like when you're trying to do your crease, this is a really effective way, but when I need to get more detailed, I need to be closer, have more control. But for just blending purposes, you guys were definitely right. Holding the brush farther away does really help make it look nice. My eyelids have been really textured lately, which I'm kind of bummed about because there was a time when they were doing a lot better. I had this like night cream. I still use the night cream. I'm not sure why it stopped working, but kind of sucks. It sucks when skincare like stops working. That's like the worst thing ever. When you like have a skincare product that you consider like a holy grail and then it just stops working. It's so sad. And it stopped working and now my eyelids are crinkly again. So if anybody has any like remedies for crinkly eyelids, hit me up. I'm gonna go in with the orange shade Trainwreck, and I'm just going to do a smaller, more like tapered brush. I'm just gonna put that again, same place, but just like. The only thing I wish about this palette that I kind of wish could be a little bit different is I do sort of wish that this shade was a tiny bit, not much, but just a tiny bit more yellow, and I wish that this shade Cinex was just a black. That's pretty much the only critiques I had of the palette using it as far as like usability. I felt like it would have been easier to use if those two things were different, but that's like a personal thing. I feel like with palettes sometimes, I appreciate reviews in the sense that I can understand, does it blend? You know, do the colors work well together? Like, is it, you know, what is it basically? Like, I respect reviews on that purpose, but at the same time, like, some people, this is their color story, and for other people, it's not 100% their color story. And I think that's just kind of my thing with this one. It's just not 100% my favorite color story. You know what I mean? I did, however, I like talk with the owner a little bit because I really like her. She's an influencer too. Her name is Rocio. I'll link her down below. She's great. And I talked with, I'm gonna go back in with that yellow and just kind of pop it back in the top a little bit. I talked to her a little bit about different things, and she actually sent me a couple of things that Midas is releasing in May, which are like, that's like the coolest thing ever. Like, it's so cool that she did that and like wants me to like look at things that she's doing. I think that is like the coolest thing ever. And I love that palette that they're coming out with in May. I think it's May 8th. I can talk about it. I'm excited because I've been using it a lot, but I haven't been able to really talk about it. The palette they're coming out with on May 8th is my color story, my theme. Like, I'm like in love with it. It's so pretty. And this one is more, I think, kind of, this reminds me of a Lacy palette, like Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. This reminds me of like this palette. It's very grungy, very fun. I'm gonna go, sorry, I didn't even tell you. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm just going to pat that on my outer crease. So we're in the final home stretch for school. And let me tell you, I cannot wait. I'm taking 2 summer classes, but the way summer classes work here, and they're all online, which is so nice. So I don't have to like worry about going in, and I can do it on my own time, which I love. The thing about summer classes is they're like 6 weeks, and then, or maybe they're like 5 weeks. There's some amount of weeks, and you have like 2 sessions that you could do summer classes in. So this year, instead of taking 2 classes during the same session, which is what I used to do, I decided to space it out because I have really been super into creating lately and like making YouTube content, and I have so many ideas, and it's been so crappy the past few weeks just because I have all these ideas and I have ideas to film, but I don't have time to like film them because I have to do school, and school will always be my #1 priority. So it's like I'm kind of at a standstill with that one. So I decided like, okay, let me take the summer and just take the classes I still need to take and get what I need to get done, but also, you know, do the things that I love, which is this. I'm gonna go in with this shade. The thing I like about this palette is that while I created looks, like, I'll pop it up on the screen, I had like a really beautiful green look that I did in a video that I believe went up yesterday, and that look was so stunning, and I loved it, and I loved everything about it, and it was so pretty and like green. But you can also do really, really neutral looks like the one I'm doing right now. Like, I can do this very pretty and nice neutral look. I don't know if I'm gonna use green. I feel like you guys are gonna clock me if I don't use green. I just have to go to class, and here's the thing. Normally I would have no problem going to class with like bright green eyeshadow. Like, that's not really a problem for me, because most of my professors actually know that I do YouTube, and all my classmates know because I like talk about it. It comes up in conversation. I'm not like, oh my god, I'm a YouTuber, but I'm like, I talk about that's like a thing that I do, because people sometimes are like, well, what do you do like during the day? And I'm like, well, I do this, you know what I mean? So normally I don't mind going with crazy things, but tonight I'm actually going to as for a class. I'm gonna go in with, first of all, just side note, I don't think I'm gonna use it today, but Jelly Bean, this silver, is so beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shade. This is my favorite shimmer and the most used shimmer of the week. Along with Gelato, very pigmented and pretty shade. Tonight for my class, we're going to this, I don't want to say the name, but it's like a volunteer place for you like make food packages for people who don't have a lot of money to go and buy food, and it's free for them. And they are strictly volunteer based, and for my class, we're actually going, and then we have to write, going in with this shade, we have to write like a paper about our experience there and talking about how the logistics of the company work, like how they're able to run the company the way that they do, and look into their like expense reports and all of that stuff. So I don't know if I can just show up with like a green eye look to that, because it's not really, I don't know how appropriate that would be. So I might just keep it neutral today, but you guys can go back and see the look I did. I was a little bit more crazy with this palette, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. The other thing I want to talk about, I guess I wanted to ask you guys. So I've been getting a lot of requests to do a video talking about just like school, but not really like what's going on with school, because I feel like I update you guys pretty frequently about that. More about my like journey with school, kind of how I got to where I am. And I think I kind of want to do like a knit with me video where I tell you guys kind of the whole story of how I got to where I am at school, because I'm gonna be a senior in college, but I'm also 24, so I'm like a couple years behind. Okay, so I kind of want to do a whole video discussing that and talking to you guys about it. I might even have Charles be in it, because he also had a crazy interesting ride to get to where he is. He's finishing his master's in like 2 weeks, and I'm so excited for him. I'm gonna go in with this shade, this goldy shimmer, and put that more, and I'm also gonna spray this one. These glitters are they have a tiny bit of fallout, so I just like to spray them to be cautious. But he's also had a crazy ride with school, and I think it would be interesting for us to talk about like how you stay motivated, how you know, do what you gotta do to get through it. Because but I also feel like sometimes when I talk about school, I get some really negative comments, because I think people, I don't really know how to say this without sounding like a jerk. I think there are, and I hate that this is a thing, but I feel like there are some people who are genuinely very self-conscious about the fact that they either chose not to go to school, chose to drop out of school, chose to not finish their degree. I feel like there are people that are self-conscious about that, which they shouldn't be, because everybody makes the choices that's best for them in life. And I feel like when I talk about school, I always get comments of people being like, well, you think you're so smart because you would go to college, and like, just because you go to college doesn't mean you're smart. And it's like, well, yeah, I know. Like, I know that, and I don't disagree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I'm gonna go back into this auburny shade and just kind of blend together that shimmer in the auburn shade. I know that, you know, but it kind of, I don't want to make anyone feel like weird because I talk about it, because I don't think that anybody should be insecure about their decision to go to college or not go to college, because I know people who have done every different type of thing. I know people who have gone into the military. I know people who have gone on and are going on to get their doctorates. I know people who never went to like college and are going to be making more money than I ever will. Like, I know all different types of people who are all very successful in their own ways. So I guess if I do make a video talking about college and kind of my experiences with everything and how I like got back into it and how I stayed motivated, kind of like my story, I think I would want to preface it by saying that, because I hate that people feel that way. It makes me so sad that I'm going to go back in with Train Wreck for the under lower lash line. I'm going to just maybe keep it a bright orange. I hate that society has made people feel like that. You know what I mean? I just hate it. I hate that society has made people feel like if they didn't go to school, they have to be insecure about it. I could go off about all of the like systemic issues too that lead to people not being able to get a higher education, but like, I'll stop there. All right, I think I'm done. I'm so sorry I didn't use any green. I feel like I've like failed you guys, but it's kind of cool to see that a palette that is predominantly green can still pull such a cool neutral look. Like, this is a beautiful, pretty, neutrally look. I think I am gonna go in real quick with just a clean blending brush and just kind of blend out these edges. I think I'm going to put on eyeliner and mascara, gloss. I have a new gloss from ColourPop I'm very excited to try, and some more highlight, and then I will be back for the final review. Okay, this look is so pretty. I love how this turned out. I love the really basic, pretty, just like neutral, just something nice. I'm using the new ColourPop. I got 2 of their So Juicy glosses because Lacey and Nisa really convinced me. And this one is the one I used today, and it feels like menthol on my mouth right now, and I'm just like, no. I don't know what to do. So this is how the look turned out. I'll give you guys a full kind of look. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out. So that was my tutorial Tuesday for this week. This High Times palette, I think it's a really good deal. I think if you wanted something like the Midas Cosmetics Smoke Sessions, is that what it's called? But that's like very expensive. This is very inexpensive. It's like 20 bucks, and I think it's a really solid, good palette. I created a look that I really love. I've created looks that I've loved all week with this palette. These greens, Perform, Gelato, and Kermit, are so bright and beautiful on the eye. I absolutely loved them. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this palette this week. I really liked it. You can use my code if you want to. You can just say this review is biased if you want to, but I did really enjoy this palette, and I'm excited to see, well, I'm excited for you guys to see what Midas is coming out with next, because I think it's really cool and exciting. I'm excited to be a part of a brand like this and to be able to, you know, work with them. It's been a lot of fun. So yeah, for next week, oh man, what's the palette for next week? For next week, I think we are going to play with the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I got that as a gift from one of you guys for my birthday, and I've been wanting to do a Tutorial Tuesday with it for a while. I didn't know if you guys would want one because I know it's a little bit of an older palette, but since it's still on the market and since it's still absolutely beautiful, I want to give you guys like a full opinion and do a more bougie Tutorial Tuesday next week. So all this week, I'll be playing with the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I'm wearing on my face will be linked down below. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!